Hello, everyone, and a huge welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Mark. Seriously, it's always a pleasure to spend this time with you all.
It really is. You know, Mark, today's topic is something I get asked about all the time.
Oh, me too. It's a universal experience, right? We're going to tackle how to talk about your job, from what you do every day to your biggest career dreams. Perfect for our A1 learners.
Exactly. It's going to be super practical and I think a lot of fun. But before we jump in, if you're enjoying our podcast, please do us a huge favor and share it with a friend, subscribe to our channel, and give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps us grow.
It really does. Your support is everything. So, Anna, shall we get into it?
Let's do it. Okay, so picture this. You're at a party and someone turns to you and asks, "So, what do you do?" Mark, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
The easiest thing is to just state your title. Straightforward, like, I'm a teacher. Nice and simple.
Perfect. Or, I work as a designer. See? Crystal clear. So, Mr. Mark, what's your official title?
Well, I'm an English teacher, and I have to say, I absolutely adore it. How about you, Anna?
I'm a presenter here on the podcast, and I also work as a content creator. No 2 days are the same.
That sounds fantastic. Now, sometimes people want to know where you work. You could say, I work for a tech company. Or if you're your own boss.
Oh, like me. You can say, I'm self-employed. It basically means you're the CEO of you.
Exactly. And then, to get into the nitty-gritty, they might ask about your responsibilities, what you actually do.
Right. Like, I manage social media accounts, or I help customers solve problems every day. It gives people a real sense of your role.
For me, I'd say, I prepare lessons and teach students. That's my main task.
Great example. We have some handy phrases for this, like, I'm responsible for. For instance, I'm responsible for planning all our video content.
Ooh, I like that. Or, my main task is making English less scary and more fun for everyone.
And you're a rock star at it, Mark.
Ah, thanks. Another good one is, a typical day looks like this. It's a great way to start describing your daily life.
Totally. So I could say, a typical day for me looks like recording 2 episodes and then writing scripts. Simple.
So, to recap, your job title, your company, and your key responsibilities. You've got this.
All right, let's get into the rhythm of the workday. Your daily routine. I'm always curious about how people structure their time.
Me too. It all starts with the basics. You can say, I usually start around 9 a.m. and finish by 5 p.m. But then, what fills those hours?
Emails. Meetings. I think everyone can relate. I often say, first thing in the morning, I tackle my inbox and have a quick team meeting.
The classic 1-2 punch. And then, after that, I focus on my big projects until lunchtime.
Yes. And don't forget the important stuff. The breaks. The social bits. Do you grab lunch with your colleagues?
Absolutely. I usually have lunch with my team around noon. Or, I always need a coffee break around 3 p.m. to recharge. It makes it sound more human.
It really does. So, let's paint a full picture. My morning starts with emails and a stand-up meeting. Then I dive into my creative work until lunch. The afternoon is usually for more meetings and planning. I try to wrap up by 6 p.m.
See, that's a full busy day. Mine is different. I start by planning my lessons, then I teach my morning classes. After a late lunch, I have more classes and sometimes collaborate with other teachers. I'm usually done by 4 p.m.
That sounds so rewarding, Mark. So remember, everyone, your start and end times, your key tasks, and those little breaks that keep you going. Now, let's talk about where the magic happens. The work environment. This has changed so much lately.
Haha, you can say that again. So many people, including us, often work remotely or work from home.
For sure. But you might also work in a busy office downtown, or have a hybrid setup, where you're partly at home and partly in the office.
And let's not forget the people who work outdoors. That must be nice, when it's not raining.
Exactly. Now, what about the vibe? Is your workplace super formal or more casual?
Oh, great question. A formal place might mean suits and strict rules. My environment is pretty informal and relaxed. Jeans and t-shirts are welcome.
Same here, thank goodness. And the people you work with make all the difference, right?
100%. I'm lucky, I can say. My coworkers are fantastic. We all support each other. It feels like a little work family.
I love that. Let's run through some key vocab. Open plan office, one big room with lots of desks. Deadline, that dreaded date something is due. Boss or manager, the person in charge. Coworker/colleague, your work buddies. Client, the people or companies you work for. Team, your core group. Flexible hours, a beautiful thing. It means you can adjust your start and end times.
So, think about your workspace, the atmosphere, and the people around you. Now for the real talk, job satisfaction. Anna, be honest. Do you love what you do?
I genuinely do, Mark. I get to connect with all of you, and it's so creative. I'd say I love my job because it's dynamic and I get to meet amazing people.
That's wonderful, and that's a perfect way to say it. Others might say, I find my job really challenging in a good way, or the best part is the friendly atmosphere.
But let's be real, no job is perfect. What's a part of your job you like a little less?
Well, I love the teaching part. Seeing that aha moment is incredible. The part I like least? Probably grading homework. It can be a bit of a slog.
I get it. For me, I love the creative side and talking to you all. My least favorite part is probably the technical editing. It's just not my strength.
And that's okay. Sometimes these feelings make people want to change. You might hear someone say, I'm looking for a new opportunity, or I need a job with a better salary.
Or, I'm searching for a role that's closer to home. All very valid reasons. You can also be balanced about it. It can be stressful at times, but the team makes it all worth it.
So, when thinking about your own job, consider what you love, what you don't love as much, and if you're looking for a change.
Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Past jobs. Mark, what did you do before this?
Oh, the past. I can say I used to work for a small startup, but now I'm part of a much bigger organization. It shows how your career evolves.
That's a great transition. Or, before this, I was a student, working part-time in a cafe. And it's always good to say what you learned.
Definitely. For example, in my previous role, I really developed my customer service skills. Or, I learned how to lead a small team.
It's like telling the story of your professional life. I used to be a sales assistant, and it taught me how to communicate with anyone.
Such a valuable skill. So, think about your past roles and what they taught you.
Now, let's flip it and look forward. Future goals. This is the exciting part. Mark, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Ooh, I love this question. I might say, in the future, I'd love to write my own English learning book. That's a big dream of mine.
That's an amazing goal. Or, I want to become a real expert in online education. What about skills you want to build?
Yes, like, I really want to improve my public speaking skills. Or, I'm keen to learn more about video production. It shows you're growing.
And the big one. What's your dream job? If you could do anything.
My ultimate dream job? To travel around the world, teaching English in person in different countries. How incredible would that be?
That sounds absolutely perfect for you. My dream is to build a community where millions of people feel confident speaking English. So, dream big, everyone. Think about your future position, the skills you want, and that ultimate dream job.
Okay, we've been talking about ourselves a lot. How do we turn the tables and ask others about their work?
Such an important skill for conversation. The go-to is always, so what do you do?
Classic. And to show you're genuinely interested, a great follow-up is, do you enjoy it?
Yes. Or, how long have you been with the company? That opens up a lot. And to really get them talking, ask, what's the most interesting part of your role?
Oh, I love that one. You could also ask, what does a typical day look like for you? It's an invitation for a story, not just a one-word answer.
Exactly. So next time you're making small talk, remember these questions. They'll make the conversation flow so much better. Wow, Mark, we covered a ton, from the basics to the big dreams.
We really did. You guys now have a whole toolkit for talking about your job in English. Remember what they say, practice makes perfect. Try describing your own job out loud when you have a minute.
Please do. And if you found this helpful, you know the drill. Subscribe to the channel, share this with a friend who's also learning, and drop us a comment below.
We really do love reading them. Tell us, what's the best part of your job? Or, if you're just starting out, what's your dream job?
Thanks for listening, everyone. We're so grateful for you.
See you in the next episode.